Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks once again with the mighty Jingles. And you may remember Snakebite 3 from yesterday's epic fail video. He was the driver of the Object 704 in the assault on the Siegfried Line replay towards the end of yesterday's video. Well, he sent me another replay, this time in the AMX ELC, the French Tier 5. It's a Tier 7 match on the highway map, and as is the usual procedure here on highway, you tend to find that the more mobile tanks rush north, backed up by the tank destroyers, while the slower, more heavily armoured tanks head south and get stuck into the enemy in the city, down in the southeastern end of the map. And yet, somehow, Snakebite 3's team are going to run into more enemy tanks that they can deal with at both ends of the map at the same time. Which doesn't seem mathematically possible, and yet, well, watch and see. Now, you'll notice that Snakebite has got binocular periscopes set up on his ELC, so what he likes to do at the start of the match is to rush forward, find himself a nice little bush with a commanding view of the middle of the battlefield, and then sit there spotting enemy tanks. He does get spotted in this bush, however, and it's possibly because the Chaffee or the Skoda up there, they get far enough west that they're able to make line of sight on him, so his position's been blown. He reverses up, gets a building between himself and anything that might start shooting at him, and then gets the hell out of there. If at first you don't succeed, rinse, repeat, and try again. With contact broken, he's no longer spotted. Has a good look at what's going on. This bush looks good. You notice he doesn't go back to the same position, just in case anybody's aiming, waiting for him to pop up again. Now the 90mm gun on the ELC has a monstrously long aiming time, but it does do a lot of damage, particularly to Tier 5 and 6 medium tanks. It's got a good hit on that T-34. He's lining up for the second shot. T-34 disappears, takes the shot anyway. No good. Pulls back from the bush, got spotted, possibly because he pulled too far back from the bush. You'll notice he didn't get spotted the first time he fired. Oh, he's taking fire, possibly from the M7. Keeps moving. Little handbrake turn there, did you see that? He's going to be doing a lot of that in the course of this replay. Lines up the shot on the T-34. Once again, T-34 disappears, but he wasn't moving, takes the shot, and this time he kills him. Runs into a Cromwell B heading in the other direction. Cromwell B, what are you doing? You're heading in the wrong direction. There's too many of them, Jim. How can there be too many of them? We're winning 5-1. The team's being fought to a standstill in the city. We've won this end of the map. You're going the wrong way. It's now, of course, that Snakebite's team run into the problem of what happens when you have captured the northern end of the map, because in order to get into the enemy base you have to run the gauntlet of all the tank destroyers, and also, bizarrely, for some strange reason, Japanese super heavy tanks who think that they're hilltop snipers rather than city street brawlers. Oh, watch this artillery. First of all, not the smartest place in the world to be sitting. You can be shot from the middle of the field all the way up there. And then when he does take fire and starts coming under attack, he runs towards the enemy tanks rather than away from them. 0 damage done, that guy, by the way, just in case you were wondering. And no, you're probably not surprised. Anyway, Snakebite, what are you doing now? Well, he's not actually trying to get over the ridge, because there are a couple of box tanks and an OI up there. Instead, he's just trying to crest the ridge like that and get the spots in. Now, the thing here is, when you've won the northern end of the map and you're pushing across that open field, you're exposed in that open field, and if you've got Su-100Y box tanks and OIs shooting at you, the last thing you want to do is stop in the middle of the field to shoot back at them. And unfortunately, what seems to be happening is that when Snakebite pops up there and spots these guys, that's exactly what everybody's doing. And so they're getting slaughtered in the middle of the field by these tanks that really only need one shot to kill them. So it's not going too well over here. Just too many tanks for the team to handle, and yet bizarrely they're being fought to a standstill down in the town as well, despite the fact that they are actually winning 8 kills to 5. It's just that kind of team. When you're pushing across this field and making your way into the enemy camp, you are going to take hits from the tank destroyers that are on top of that ridgeline. But tank destroyers, machines like the OI, they have bad view range, so you need to take advantage of your speed, because they're likely to only get that one shot at you as you make your way across. Unfortunately, too many people stopped in the middle of the field and got one-shotted by these big old guns on the top of the ridge, so Snakebite's like, nope, sorry, getting out of here, and they're determined to punch his ticket They're dodging the shots. Of course, the good thing is that he's in a very, very small, very, very fast French light tank, and they're box tanks and OIs, and they're not particularly accurate. Now, pay attention as he's back to bush spotting and bush sniping here to the Stug 3 that just popped up over there on the right-hand side of the screen as he's taking shots at the OI. And I initially was sitting here thinking, what the hell is that Stug doing? Why would you abandon a hidden sniping position on the ridgeline and start driving around the middle of the field? The Stug is actually, he's taking one for the team here, and he's spotting, he's attempting to spot for the big guns up on the ridge. So, well played, fella. It's not going to work, because Snakebite isn't that stupid, but you can see why the Stug did it. Unfortunately, Snakebite's going to kill him, and so it's going to be a sacrifice in vain. What the SU-100Y down there, on the other hand, thinks he's going to achieve is anybody's guess. I mean, you can understand a Stug, because it's small, and it's got a good camo rating. You can understand the Stug pulling a move like that and trying to spot targets for the big guns on the hill, but it doesn't help when the big guns on the hill rush down there with you, and then sit in the middle of the open, sideways on, to the ELC that just nailed the Stug and get themselves killed. So hopefully the Stug just learned a valuable lesson. If the move that you're about to pull when you're playing World of Tanks depends on your teammates not doing something stupid in order for it to succeed, don't bother. Or stand by to pay a repair bill. One of the two. Anyway, it's 4 against 3. The OI probably still on that ridgeline. So Snakebite's attempting to spot him. He's moving from bush to bush. He knows the OI's got a terrible view range, so he's trying to exploit that, because don't forget he's in a light tank. He keeps his camo rating while he's moving. Moving forward, trying to take advantage of all possible concealment on the way in, and just trying to get eyes on that OI. Now, while they outnumber the enemy team 4-3, they only have 2 real tanks left. There's Snakebite and a VK3601H, who's managed to break contact with the KV-3 and the Rudy in the town, and is approaching the enemy cap circle. So Snakebite really needs to spot that OI, and that's what he's trying to do here. Moves from bush to bush. Don't forget, Sixth Sense will tell you where an enemy vehicle is, even if you can't see it, because if they can see you, Sixth Sense goes off. It doesn't tell you exactly where the enemy vehicle is, but it does tell you there's an enemy vehicle who's got line of sight to you. So Sixth Sense is not going off. He cannot see the OI. He's definitely not sitting in the cap circle. He would have seen him by now, and he would have been spotted as he broke cover to move from bush to bush there, if there was anything there that could spot him. But he didn't. Sixth Sense didn't go off. And here comes the 3601H, and there's the OI. And oh, this is not good news. That's not good news at all. So now he's the last actual tank left on his team. And there's the KV-3. And he's not going to get any help from the artillery, because the Rudy has just killed the M41 and is making a push on the So he's going to have to take this OI out all by himself. But the OI can't see him because he's as blind as a bat. Actually, Jingles, bats aren't... Yes, I know. It's an expression. OI spotted him as he fired. Get the hell out of there. Don't want to get hit by the KV-3. 122mm gun. Can do a lot of damage. What's the Rudy going to do? He hasn't nailed the other artillery yet. He is capping. Now, is he capping because he wants to cap, or is he capping because crossing the cap circle is the fastest way to get to the artillery? I guess we're going to find out. Snakebite, easily going to be able to outrun a KV-3. He's got to get back, praying that the artillery can just hold on long enough for him to get back there and assist while the Rudy is occupied trying to kill him. And if any tank can do it, it's going to be the ELC. Well, okay, maybe not this time. So what's that Rudy going to do? He's sitting there on 6 kills, so it's not wise to underestimate him. He's not capping. He's coming after you. The Snakebite's come to exactly that conclusion as well, so he sets up to ambush him. He knows exactly how much health he has. This 90mm gun can one-shot this guy. And that's where he makes his first mistake, because he doesn't let it fully aim. And he misses. And the Ruby snapshots him. And now, it's on. Outrunning a KV-3 is one thing. Outrunning a T-3485 Ruby is something entirely different. This guy has the terrain in his favour. It's nice flat ground. He doesn't have to run into any obstacles. He can even chase him downhill and keep the speed up, and he gets another hit on the move against an ELC AMX. He may even be herding him straight towards the KV-3, and that's when the cap alarm goes off once again. So, well, Snakebite at least doesn't have that to worry about. This Rudy is in hot pursuit. And now, he's going to have to slow down as he tries to get up and over the ridge. Oh, that was close. But he's finally broken line of sight with his pursuer. Now what's he going to do? He's certainly not going to cap. The safe option, which isn't that safe, is to turn around and deal with the Rudy, so he doesn't have to charge back to base with the T-3485 in hot pursuit and reset the KV-3. But doing that is going to cost him time which he doesn't necessarily have, because that KV-3 is almost at 50% capture. Still, this Rudy just has to get lucky once more, so he decides he needs to turn around and kill this guy. Pulls the handbrake turn again, very useful manoeuvre when you're in a machine that doesn't have a turret that can rotate 360 degrees. There's the Rudy, this time he lets it aim, and beautiful shot. But the KV-3 has the base capture at 70%. Snakebite's been spotted. He has no option with time this short before losing to a cap. No option other than to make a beeline straight from where he was last spotted directly back to the base. He can't afford to be sneaky and try to skirt around. He just doesn't have the time. And if that KV-3 hadn't been so desperate to get the kill and shoot him as he came across the open field, he would have won. The surprising thing is that KV-3 is not a bad player. He's actually done 2,300 damage in this match, but that was a bad decision. 340 meter view range on a KV-3 under the best possible circumstances, and trying to spot a light tank is not the best possible circumstances. Perhaps he thought, well, I've got enough health. Even if he does spot me, before I spot him, when he fires he's going to give his position away. But you've got a big old Russian 122mm gun. It's slow to aim, it's not very accurate, and you're trying to hit a small target like an ELC after he's already fired and is on the move again. So that was a terrible decision from the KV-3. And now all the pressure is off Snakebite. Now he's reset the cap, and he can afford to take his time, be sneaky, plan his attack, and fight that KV-3 on his own terms. And hopefully Snakebite's learned his lesson by now. Give that 90mm gun time to aim. Because you don't get many second chances in an ELC, and there's the KV-3 again. And it's difficult to tell because all you can see is the outline, but it looks like his gun is actually still pointing out across the middle of the field, as if he expects Snakebite, now that he has the pressure off, to shoot at him again from the same location. And, well, just watch this. He got spotted when he fired, so he turns, DD's in the other direction. KV-3's thinking, I know your game, Sonny Jim. You're going to pop up from an unexpected direction. Bit of double reverse psychology here. He is going to pop up from an unexpected direction. It's just the unexpected direction in this case is exactly the same direction. Disappears, breaks contact, handbrake turn, straight back to where he fired from. No sign of the KV-3 though. Huh. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's moved. Oh, he's got the shot. He's got the shot. ELC. Come on. What the hell? Where did that shot go? Oh, now it's on. And of course the ELC doesn't really have a turret. It's got a very narrow firing arc. But KV-3, big, heavily armoured, powerful gun. Not the fastest turning turret in the world. Look at this. And also, doesn't have very good gun depression. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh my, look at his health. Look at that. Oh, Snakebite, stop playing with your food. Oh, well played. Well, he did it. He survived on 8 health with a top gun in the most entertaining way possible. Snakebite 3 in the ELC AMX. Great game from Snakebite 3. And yet, if you look at the team summary and the damage done, he actually had the better team there. Look at the number of enemy tanks that just did no damage at all. And you see this time and time again when you're playing random battles in World of Tanks. The overwhelming majority of both teams either completely suck or just don't do very well at all. And it always comes down to just 2, 3, maybe 4 players out of the 30 who are playing that make the difference. And in this case, well, it's unfortunate for the guy in the T-3485 Rudy who played a great game, but, well, there can only be one winner, and today it wasn't him. So, Snakebite 3 in the ELC AMX. Thanks for sending the replay in. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.